Welcome to the What I Wish I Knew After Pregnancy Loss podcast. I am your host, Sharna Southan. I am an angel mum, a rainbow mum, a pregnancy loss practitioner, and trauma-informed coach. I created the Institute of Healing Through Pregnancy Loss out of my own experience with loss in the hopes to provide understanding and healing, educating people on pregnancy loss, and creating more women or men in trained support roles. In this podcast, I hope to shed light on what I wish I knew in relation to pregnancy loss, opening up the conversation, breaking the stigma, and bringing real-life stories plus guest experts. Thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive into today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. It's Sharna here, and today I'm sharing something really close to my heart. I want to talk about why I'm writing this book. Not just the logistics or the outline or the title, but the deeper why, the heartbeat of it. The part that hurts a little to talk about, but also feels so important to say out loud. Because I didn't write this book to be clever. I'm writing it because something happened, something that changed me, and something I know is happening to women everywhere still, quietly, silently, unseen, and that silence I'm not okay with anymore. So let me take you back to the defining moment. It started in an ultrasound room, started with the blissful hope of pregnancy, but it ended with loss. I walked into that room pregnant and I walked out empty. I still remember the moment the technician said, "I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat." It was as if the air left the room, the walls closed in, and I felt like my body and the world had betrayed me at the exact same time. But what happened next was the real wound. I was sent home, told it would be like a heavy period, that my body would take care of it naturally, and I would be okay. But I wasn't okay, because what followed wasn't just bleeding. It was contractions I wasn't told about. It was clotting and pain that made me cry through the night. I was almost passing out. It was fear and silence and feeling like I had no idea what was happening to me. My husband was Googling symptoms. I was spiraling. We were alone. And here's the thing. No one told me this could happen. No one gave me a safety net. No one explained what to look out for. No one told me it was trauma, that it was postpartum, that I would still be bleeding in more ways than one. And in the days and weeks that followed, what hurt more than the loss was the dismissal of the experience. The well-meaning but minimizing comments. The check-ins that stopped too soon. The medical system that moved on. And the deep, invisible grief I was expected to carry quietly. That moment changed me. It made me realize I wasn't just grieving a baby. I was grieving the absence of care, and I was grieving the future I so desperately wanted. That moment planted a seed for everything that's followed. My healing, my method, and now this book. Because what I realized in those weeks and months was this. We don't just have a grief problem. It's not that only that society is grief and emotion illiterate. It's that we have a training problem, a system problem, a silence problem. Women are walking through some of the most devastating moments of their lives, and they're not being held. They're not being told what's happening in their bodies. They're not being supported emotionally. And they're certainly not being guided spiritually or somatically. And it's not just the women, the professionals around them, midwives, doulas, therapists, coaches, nurses, partners, they're also under-equipped. They want to help. They're trying, but they don't have the tools. They weren't trained to hold this kind of pain. And that's what this book is here to change. It's not a memoir. It's not a self-help manual. It's a reclamation of care, of wholeness, of what it means to walk with someone through grief that bleeds. It's a guide for professionals, for aspiring supporters, for partners, for anyone who's ever felt helpless in the face of someone else's heartbreak. Because the body remembers, the nervous system remembers, the womb remembers, and we need a new way to respond. So how does this show up in my work now? It shows up in the pregnancy loss recovery method that I created, which I now teach internationally to professionals who are ready to lead differently, and also lost mums who are aspiring supporters, wanting to create what they know is missing. It shows up in the language I use, the presence I hold, and the sacred pause I offer when someone tells me they've lost a pregnancy. Because I know now this isn't just about conception. It's about completion. It's about integration. It's about supporting someone to come home to themselves after their whole world has shifted. This book is for the women who feel broken, the one who's bleeding in silence, the one who was never told she was postpartum because there was no baby in her arms. And it's for the professional who wants to help but freezes, who doesn't know what to say, who's worried they'll say the wrong thing, who feels it all but doesn't know how to hold it without absorbing it. This book gives them both something they've never had: language, tools, permission, framework, safety. Because I don't want another woman to feel dismissed. I don't want another partner to feel invisible. And I don't want another professional to feel helpless. I want them to feel equipped, embodied, capable, and deeply aware of what actually happens physically, emotionally, spiritually when someone loses a pregnancy. Because if we can change that, we can change everything. So if this resonates with you, if you have lived this or witnessed this or supported someone through it and felt the weight of not knowing how, this book is for you. And you're not alone anymore. I'll be sharing more as the book unfolds, so make sure you are following me on social media. I will tag my Instagram handle in the show notes below. It's at instituteofhealing.losssupport. If you're listening and you've experienced any form of reproductive loss, I see you. Your story matters. Your pain is valid. Your healing is sacred. And if any part of you feels like there's something you're meant to do to create from it, whether that's a business, a practice, or simply a deeper relationship with yourself, I want you to know that spark is real. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you do get to trust that your experience holds wisdom, that your pain can carry purpose, and that you are not alone on this path. I'd love to leave you with a journal prompt today, just something to sit with, reflect on, and return to in your own time. So the question is, what have I lived through that has shaped what I feel called to create? Let the answers come slowly. Let them surprise you. And if you're someone who's felt the nudge to guide others through the kind of support you wish you'd had, I want you to know that you don't have to figure it out alone. This is exactly why I created the Pregnancy Loss and Trauma-Informed Practitioner Certification, a trauma-informed, heart-led training for women who are ready to support others through reproductive loss and healing in a way that's embodied, ethical, and deeply personal. If that's something calling to you, you can explore the program. I'll leave it in the show notes for you. In the meantime, I do invite you to listen to episodes 1 and 2 of this podcast, where I share my full story of my loss and what truly changed my path. And if you're a professional who wants to lead this work differently, stay with me. We're just getting started, because we're not just rewriting the story of loss. We're reshaping the way we respond to it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this piece of my heart. Until next time, be so gentle with yourself. You're doing sacred work simply by existing. Thank you for listening in with me today. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Take a screenshot of this episode, share it to social media, and tag me at Institute of Healing_PL. I love seeing what is resonating with you right now. If you want to chat further, I invite you to connect with me through Instagram. Head over and follow my Instagram account, send me a DM, and let's open the communication. If you want to know more about how you can be the support for others, head to the show notes and fill out the application form for the Pregnancy Loss Practitioner certification. I want to also note here that what I share within the episodes is not medical advice. If you need further support, please consult your doctor. Thank you again. Much love to you. Be gentle with yourself, and I look forward to supporting you on the next episode.